All right, let's start with prayer led by Levi.
Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity we have to assemble here and worship you and learn about your word. Thank you for all of our many blessings. Please be with the sick, please help them to heal if it be your will, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Acts of the letter to the Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians and Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus and Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st and 2nd and 3rd John, Jude and Revelation. God made water, space, and earth on day one. He also made light for days there was none. He made the great blue skies above, all on day two. On day three, the land, the grass, the trees, and the seas too.
God made all creation, and behold, it was very good.
On day four, he made the sun, the moon, the stars on high. On day five, he made the swimming things and creatures that fly.
On day six, he made the land, creatures and all creeping things. And it was very good when he made
Adam and Eve. 6 days God created and stopped on the seventh day. Genesis 1 and 2.
creation. Genesis 1 and 2.
Genesis 1 and 2.
Creation. Genesis 1 and 2.
Genesis 3.
Adam and Eve. Genesis 3.
Genesis 4.
Cain and Abel. Genesis 4.
Genesis 5.
Adam's descendants. Genesis 5.
Genesis 6 through 9.
Noah and the flood. Genesis 6 and 9.
Genesis 10 and 11.
Noah's descendants. Genesis 10 and 11.
Genesis 11.
Tower of Babel. Genesis 11.
Genesis 12 through 15.
God's promise to Abraham. Genesis 12 and 15.
Genesis 16.
Birth of Ishmael. Genesis 16.
Genesis 17.
Circumcision. Genesis 17.
Genesis 18 and 19.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Genesis 18 and 19.
Genesis 20.
Abraham and Abimelech. Genesis 20.
Genesis 21 and 22.
Birth of Isaac. Genesis 21 and 22.
Genesis 23.
Death of Sarah. Genesis 23.
Genesis 24.
Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis 24.
Genesis 25.
Birth of Jacob and Esau. Genesis 25.
Genesis 26.
Isaac and Abimelech. Genesis 26.
Genesis 27.
Jacob's wife. Genesis 27.
Genesis 28, 8, 8.
Jacob's wife. Genesis 28, 8.
Genesis 29 through 33.
Jacob, Rachel, and Leah. Genesis 29 through 33.
Genesis 34.
Genesis 34.
Genesis 35 through 36.
Jacob and Esau's descendants. Genesis 35 through 36.
Genesis 37.
Joseph's coat of many colors. Genesis 37.
Genesis 38.
Tamar. Genesis 38.
Genesis 39 through 40.
Potiphar. Genesis 39 through 40.
Genesis 41 through 50.
Joseph rules in Egypt.
Genesis 41 through 50. Genesis 3.
Adam and Eve. Genesis 3.
Genesis 4.
Cain and Abel. Genesis 4.
Genesis 22.
Abraham offers Isaac. Genesis 22.
Genesis 37.
Joseph's coat of many colors. Genesis 37.
Joshua 6.
Jericho destroyed. Joshua Joshua 6.
Judges 6.
Gideon and the fleece. Judges 6.
Judges 7.
Gideon and his 300 warriors. Judges 7.
Judges 13 through 16.
Samson. Judges 13 through 16.
1 Samuel 17.
David and Goliath. 1 Samuel 17.
1 Kings 3.
Solomon's prayer. 1 Kings 3.
1 Kings 17.
Elijah and the widow of Zarephath. 1 Kings 17.
1 Kings 18.
Elijah and the carnival. 1 Kings 18.
2 Kings 2. Elijah rises into the heavens. 2 Kings 2. 2 Kings 18 through 19.
Hezekiah and the angel of the Lord versus Assyria. 2 Kings 18 through 19.
Daniel 3. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. Daniel 3. Daniel 6. Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel 6. Matthew 14.
Jesus walks on water. Matthew 14.
Luke 16.
Lazarus in Hades. Luke 16.
Luke 18. Parable of the persistent widow. Luke 18. Luke 22.
Judas betrays Jesus. Luke 22.
Luke 23. The thief on the cross. Luke 23. Acts 9. Paul on the road to Damascus. Acts 9. Acts 17. Paul and the Areopagus. Acts 17. 1 Samuel 15, 22, 22. So Samuel said, as the Lord has great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed to the fat of rams. 1 Samuel 15, 22, 22. All right, what passage tells us that God, unlike how humans tend to be, he is not concerned with the outward appearance of things. He's concerned with our inward appearance. Okay.
1 Samuel 16:7.
Okay, good. What passage do we find out why God was upset about Uzzah touching the ark? Okay, Rylan.
2 Samuel 6.
Okay, that's when it happens, but where do we find out what God was upset about? Celeste?
1 Chronicles 15:13.
Okay. In what passage do we read about the fact that in the ocean there are deep recesses, maybe talking about the trenches that formed in the flood? Davy? Okay, Cam? Job, yeah, Katie?
Job 38:16.
Job 38:16. All right. In what passage do we read about how we should be patient with God and He will bless us even while we're still alive? When things are going bad, just be patient. God bless us. Evie?
Deuteronomy 6:24.
That's not what I'm looking for. And David?
Psalm 37:25.
Yeah, no, specifically the while you're still alive. That's in the passage. Okay? While you're still alive. So those definitely talk about God. That one talks about God blessing us, but this one is while we're alive in the land of the living. Okay, right?
Psalm 27:13-14.
Good. All right, what passage tells us that a country who tries to make God the one they follow is going to be blessed? Okay, David?
Psalm 33:12.
Okay. What passage do we read that those people that are righteous, God doesn't forsake them. They're not going to be found begging bread. Katie?
Psalm 37:25.
Psalm 37:25. All right. What passage tells us that if we want to do better about not sinning, then we'll make sure that we have God's word in our mind, in our memory, thinking about it. It's in our heart. Celeste.
Psalm 119:11.
Okay. What passage tells us that we should try to live our life based on God's will, putting our trust in Him instead of our own will. And if we do that, then He will direct our paths. Right?
Proverbs 35:6.
Okay. All right. What passage tells us that that if you want to have wisdom, the fear of the Lord is the way to start down that path? You?
Proverbs 9:8.
Verse 9, 10, and 8. What passage tells us that you're going to be more likely to make big mistakes and fall if you don't get counsel and input from other people? You just try to do things the way you think is right instead of getting input from others. Katie?
Psalm 11:14.
I see why you said that.
Proverbs 11:14.
Proverbs 11:14. Not good. What passage tells us that if you love your child, you're going to give them whoopings? Okay, Cam?
Proverbs 13:14.
Proverbs 13-14. Well,
Proverbs 13:24.
there you go. Proverbs 13:24. All right. What passage tells us? Let's see. 2 Timothy 4:3-4. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but according to their own desires, because they have itching ears, they will heap up for themselves teachers, and they will turn their ears away from the truth, and be turned aside to fables. 2 Timothy 4:3-4. All right, what passage does Jesus say that humans were around from the beginning of creation, which goes against evolution, which would say humans are around at the end of time? All right, Levi.
Mark 10:6.
Mark 10:6. And what passage does Jesus say that the first murder was still early enough in history to be considered at the foundation of the world? Okay, David?
Luke 11:15-51.
Okay. In what passage do we learn that some people will scoff at your belief in a global flood, and instead they'll believe that things like major catastrophes haven't ever happened, and that instead only uniformitarianism, so all things continue as they were, as they do now, all the way throughout the past? Okay, Katie? 2 Peter 3:3-6. In what passage do we read that God told the earth to bring forth creatures based on the kind of animal that they are? Rylan?
Genesis 1:28.
Okay, Davey.
Genesis 124.
It's 124. All right, what passage do we find out that there are laws of science and God is the one that put them in place in the universe? Levi.
Job 38.
Good. What passage do we read about the second law of thermodynamics, that the universe is going to grow old and deteriorate? Evie?
Psalm 102, 35 through 27.
Psalm 102, 25 to 27. All right, what passage tells us that life doesn't come from non-life because God gives life to all? Okay, Riley.
Acts 17, 25.
All right. What passage tells us that the things of the universe were not made out of the stuff that you can actually see? Celeste? Hebrews 11:3. In what passage does God call an atheist a fool? Okay, Evie? Psalm 14:1. In what passage do we learn that by the field of astronomy you can learn about the glory of God? Levi.
Psalms 19.
Psalm 19:1. What passage do we read about how in the flood the mountains rose and the valleys sank down? David?
Psalm 104, verses 6 through 9.
Psalm 104, verses 6 through 9. You covered it with the deep as with a garment. The water stood above the mountains, and your feet they fled. At the sound of your thunder, they took flight. The mountains rose, the valley sank down to the place that you appointed for them. You set a boundary that they may not pass, so that they might not again cover the earth. Psalm 104, verses 6 through 9. Psalm 139:14. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and that my soul is very well. Psalm 139:14. In what passage do we read that the seasons testify to the existence of God? The existence of seasons. Cam?
Acts 14, 17.
Good. Acts 14:17. What passage do we read about the intuitional argument for the existence of God? What's that? Right, the intuitional argument. Blaze knows. The intuitional argument is the argument that humans seem to have been built to intuitively know that there's supposed to be something that there's a God that we're supposed to be worshiping. Anybody stump you on this one? He made us in a way where we would seek the Lord and grow for Him. Getting kind of half hands, right? Evie?
Acts 17, 26 through 27.
Very good. Acts 17:26 through 27. And He has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face face of the earth, and has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings, so that they should seek the Lord, in the hope that they might go for him and find him, though he is not far from each one of us. Acts 17:26-27.
I won't be able to stump you on that one anymore, right?
All right, be sure to do your advanced Bible reader. All right, what's God's plan for the home?
One man, one woman for life.
And who's God wants you to marry?
A faithful Christian.
All right, good job, guys.